Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Am I the Arsehole with Funhouse. We will be deciding if people on Reddit are, in fact, the arsehole. I think general consensus is yes, they are. If you're joining us on YouTube, hello, but a friendly reminder that you can create a free Rooster Teeth account to join us in chat right now. To everyone on RTTV, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being here, and shout out to all of our first members as well. How's everyone doing today?
Pretty good. It's a Monday for sure for me.
For sure a Monday. Do Mondays feel different to you guys right now, or do they just kind of feel the same?
I forgot what day it was.
Yeah.
Like, I
that's
was
a big no for Lindsey.
I'm weirdly still kind of getting excited about weekends because like I'm intentionally just making sure I'm not doing anything on a weekend, but I still feel like Mondays, like, they don't feel any different to me now. It just, I don't know. It's all just blending together.
There's certain things like deadlines. Deadlines I'm noticing aren't happening on the weekends. Deadlines and meetings. And then Monday is when deadlines and meetings start to happen. And so that's
it's not that work isn't happening on the weekends. It's just deadlines or meetings that are not happening on the weekends.
Yeah. Pretty much. Okay, for the person in the chat, Drew Rickett, who asked, who are these people? That's fair. Hi, I'm Alanah. Below me is James. Across from me is Omar. And then if we head that way, down that way is Lindsey.
Got there.
We all work at Rooster Teeth brand. You might have heard of us, called Funhouse. And yeah, we're going to be basically... What? Huh?
We're a young up-and-comer. We're brand coming in, so.
We'll overtake Game Grumps any minute now. And basically today we're going to be judging people on the internet on whether they are in fact the arsehole. Feel free to join us in chat. I'll read out some of your comments. We can, discuss this all together. It'll be a great time. Love a good bit of judgment. Omar, you're controlling the screen, right?
I am. I got it, I think.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
I'm going to go with coffee. Let's start with the am I the arsehole for telling my boyfriend to go F himself for telling me how to drink my coffee under his roof.
Okay, so this one says update. So does that mean that they have already been established?
Probably a follow-up.
Probably, and then they've added something to it. Okay. I'm excited about this because Omar is opinionated on how he drinks his coffee. I hope you'll have some thoughts here.
My coffee.
Excellent. Okay. So someone posted on my boyfriend's social media page as a comment, now deleted. Oh, wait, hang on. We have to go to the original post.
There's an original post.
Oh, and then this is the follow-up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
There.
I take a long time to drink my coffee, and as a result, sometimes gets cold before I finish it. I don't mind cold coffee, so I drink it anyway. My boyfriend thinks this is disgusting. He doesn't like coffee anyway. He told me that he doesn't want me to drink my coffee that way because it disgusts him. I told him that it's me who's drinking it. Why should he care? He insisted that it is disgusting, and if I don't want you to drink a cup of coffee around the house, then you don't. And the good old my house, my rules. He compared it to him not wanting guests to smoke in our house or taking off shoes at the door. However, I told him those examples are not comparable because secondhand smoke is still harmful, and wearing dirty shoes in the house makes the floor dirty. I was going to say door flirty. Nice. For everyone else's feet. How I drink a cup of coffee does neither. I lost my cool and told him to go F himself for being controlling. Am I the arsehole? I'm going to skip the update for now and say no. I feel like telling someone how to consume their beverages, unless it's like, like I've had people that I've eaten or who have eaten crabs around me in a way that's like slurping and disgusting. And I feel like you can consume things in a way that is disturbing. But I feel like drinking a cold cup of coffee is just not one of those.
Especially if the person who's criticizing you doesn't even drink coffee.
Yeah.
They're gonna think it's all gross anyway. Like, lay the fuck off.
Right, and it's fine if he's like, ew, that's gross, and like maybe she'll feel differently about it. Like, well, maybe I might just try to finish my coffee earlier because he's really grossed out by it. But she's not an asshole for telling him to fuck off because she told him. He told her what she can and can't do.
He said she couldn't do it. Like, that seems insane.
Yeah, my house, my rules.
Weird. Yeah, that's nuts. I don't care about temperatures very much. Like, it's a thing that my brain just doesn't really comprehend. So I don't care if food is cold. I don't care if a drink is cold. I don't even care if beer is warm. Like, I just don't have that problem. And people get like weirded out and will make comments about it and be like, you sure you don't want me to just like get you, like heat that up for you? What is the problem? But no one's ever been like, get the fuck out of my house for it. Like, that's some next level shit.
I will say certain beverages at certain temperatures taste better than not, right? Like,
I mean, wine, beer, both better cold for sure. But I don't find them offensive
probably
when they're
better
warm.
Hot, depending on how you made it.
I mean, I think another thing too here is that like saying it's like smoking or tracking your shoes and that like those are not applicable. I would argue that cold coffee has less of an ambient potency than hot coffee.
Hot coffee,
right?
yeah.
So like, if he's like, you drink this coffee too hot in bed, and I'm worried that it's going to spill on me or like get on our white couch, that makes sense. But if she said it was milk, if it's the same as if it's cold coffee. Like it doesn't change anything to anyone who's nearby.
No, I'm sure hot coffee smells more too.
Also, going to throw it out here, coffee ice cream is one of the best versions of coffee.
Oh my God, I love coffee ice cream.
And cold coffee is closer to that, so...
That's true. I mean, okay, Omar, you are the person that I know who like is the most, I want to say like coffee specialist. Like you know a lot about coffee more than anyone else that I know does really.
You can say asshole about it. I'm okay. I am dumb about coffee.
I call myself a coffee asshole in a similar way because I'm like, I will only have a latte or a cappuccino, which like is just a very Australian thing to do. And it's like when people are like, I can get you a coffee, there's coffee, and I'll be like, it won't. I'm sorry, it's not going to be good enough. That's an asshole. You just have opinions and are informed. Like I feel like that's different. What is there anything that you would consider to be inherently disturbingly wrong with making yourself like a hot brew of coffee and then drinking it when it's cold?
Well, yeah, because I mean, when the coffee gets cold, I think it like, well, first you've let it steam a bunch and let the ratio between coffee and water change a lot, so it's going to get a lot more concentrated tasting, a little more acidic. But I think when it gets cold, it starts, to me, cold coffee, especially cold brew coffee, tastes like pennies, tastes like really metallic. Huh. And that's what I would find disgusting. But
this guy doesn't even know that.
Yeah, I went so far as I bought, I don't know, you guys have probably seen me using it at the office and stuff. I bought a cup that heats itself, that keeps coffee hot longer because I do take a long time to drink my coffee, but I want it to stay warm the whole time.
Additionally, like maybe, and I'm not saying it's okay the way he spoke to her, but maybe she puts cream in her coffee and maybe he's grossed out because he might see it and it looks like curdled or something over the day. But again, I like sometimes have my half a cup sitting there at 2 p.m. I'm like, better finish this delicious K-cup full of coffee, Omar.
Yeah, I won't drink cold tea.
I'm being an asshole about it.
Like English breakfast tea, I won't have cold, but I don't care if coffee is cold. I could like get a latte in the morning and then drink it several hours later cold and have no problem with that. No one's ever been offended by it.
So what's the
someone in the chat said the same thing as you, Lindsay. The grossest part is if the cream coagulates more so than the temp of the coffee. And I get that being gross, but I still just wouldn't care. I don't know.
It's not,
okay, so to read the update.
Did you guys see the bottom of this post?
Yeah, I saw that, but I feel like we're missing something. It sounds like there was a confrontation, right?
So someone posted on my boyfriend's social media page as a comment now deleted in the original post. Unfortunately, my boyfriend still, oh shit, that's awful. Someone found her boyfriend and then like that's like him. Oh, yikes. Unfortunately, my boyfriend still receives some nasty messages, which is never meant to happen, regardless of who was at fault. That's nuts. Who would do? Okay, whatever. If you are the person who did this, you are the asshole big time. Why on earth would you do that? What if I was in a dangerously abusive relationship that could have put my life in danger? My boyfriend, even though I showed him the original post while there were 6 comments, blamed me for this person's behavior and accused me of allowing cyberbullying. Okay, this dude sucks. He also did not agree with any of the comments.
Way off the rails too.
Yeah. I told him I understand why he's upset and that I am upset too, because I truly believed it was completely anonymous and I did all I could to remove the comment as soon as I saw it. I wonder how, I guess it's like, it's probably like a friend happened to see it and she'd spoken to him about it. Yeah. That's such a shitty thing to do. He did not agree with any of the comments and said I am the one who is controlling. He also said that what I did is unforgivable as well as irresponsible and reckless. I said I needed to be alone to think about things. I think this is like a thing in relationships that happens with people who are young where like you can have something shitty happen or like someone can do something by accident that has a negative effect on you. And I think when people are younger, they get angry at whoever caused the negative thing, even if that was not the intent. And that's like a complicated thing to get past. Like someone can do something that sucks and you can be like, well, that absolutely sucks for me, but I recognize that you did not try to do that thing. Like it's just a thing that I feel like maybe they're really young because it takes a long time, unfortunately a long time for people to realize you don't have to just like attack someone who made a mistake. Okay. After I thought about everything that happened, I asked him if we could talk the next day. Despite what happened, I felt it would be a decent thing to do to talk on the phone. I feel he responded pretty aggressively, saying things like, I am ready now, don't know about tomorrow. That seems okay. He told me to write it down as I preferred to have a mob go at him. Ooh, to text him to check when he's available, and he's not at my disposal. I told him to please stop being aggressive. It's unreasonable to expect me to guess when he's available, and that the point of asking when he's available is to appreciate he may have other things to do. This dude sounds like a fucking baby. The next day, I sent him a voice recording because I felt that he would turn aggressive on the phone. I told him that I think we are on different paths and it would be the best to end this relationship. Apparently, by that point, he already decided to end the relationship. Then said he was willing to give me a second chance and that his love was stronger. He said he made grave mistakes and that he feels sorry, but he doesn't want to be with someone who doesn't let him be himself. Okay, I hope that gives him the closure he needs. Then I had a cup of coffee.
Nice.
She broke up with him.
Yeah, he can be himself, but she can't be herself, or they can't be themselves. Nice.
So I wondered about posts like this, like what compels someone to post something? Because like, have any of you guys ever posted anything on a Reddit like this?
No.
Neither. Like, I've never done anything even along these lines. I don't know anyone that has. And I feel like most people in this kind of argument probably do it because they're trying to prove, like, read all these comments. These people fucking agree with me. And then this one just got way out of hand because people are, like, going and abusing him, which is just a lot.
Well, this just in terms of the greater thing of what you're kind of touching on, Alanah, I feel like this is what people who don't already have 1,000 unsolicited opinions being slung at them on a daily basis like think is a good idea. Like, you know, she's like, well, this will help me come to some perspective. But I think for the rest of us who are used to comments and like people just reaching out and being like, let me share my thoughts, like you're like, you've realized that the crowd control of that is just nonsense.
It's not actually worth it. That makes sense.
The top comment, perfect. My wife leaves her coffee until it's stone cold. I call her weird in a joking way. Then I get the fuck on with my life because her drinking coffee cold
that's the
doesn't
thing.
impact my life in the slightest.
You're allowed to tell people their habits are weird, but you shouldn't be like, that's fucking disgusting and I want you to stop doing it. Unless it's actually disgusting. Like maybe someone leaves their shit in the toilet and doesn't flush it. You could probably tell them that's gross and you don't want them doing that in your house. That seems fair. But just like having cold coffee. Did he like, do you think that coffee killed his parents or something? He has this like,
specifically
deep-seated
cold coffee.
that had been left out for 8 hours and his mum got poisoning or something and died and it's deeply personal to him. Damn, it seems nuts. I feel like the entire of the RTTV chat here is in agreement. Yeah, some people pointing out though that lots of people lie on this Reddit, and I don't doubt that at all, but that doesn't make it any less entertaining.
Just like a story for attention, basically.
I'm completely cool with it. We got some comments here.
Yeah, a lot of the comments are all good for you for
same shit what I'm saying.
This seems pretty cut and dry. This is definitely feels like a case closed type of one. And that's coming from someone who generally thinks that by posting in the first place, you're kind of expecting to be an asshole.
I want to find a controversial comment. So I found the first controversial comment and it said, to the people saying that OP's ex-boyfriend is crazy, he clarified to her it's not the way she drinks coffee or if it's the hot/cold that bothers him, it's the smell. So that makes it a preference. But that doesn't...
I still feel like hot coffee has more of a smell than cold coffee. Because it's like steaming and going out into like the atmosphere around you. Yeah,
you would think that. Damn. The fact that like someone, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like if it is even remotely her fault that someone found him on social media, it just seems nuts. But I also question, maybe I shouldn't. I was going to be like, would people really do that? Did this guy see this thread himself or someone linked it to him or whatever? He found out somehow. Like, did people really cyberbully this guy over this? Because I've like gotten into minor arguments with people on social media before.
Hello?
And then they'll tell me that people are sending them death threats. And then I'll just go look at their mentions and there are none. Because that could be a thing that a dude like this might lie about. You might be like, yeah, I'm being abused just to like have a one-up on that, maybe? I just don't know. I guess people are really bad, but sending someone like cyberbullying someone over this seems like a lot.
Fuck. I realize I'm probably talking in vMix.
Did I just lose you guys somehow?
My Discord disconnected.
I can't hear anyone. Oh. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, now you're back.
I just dropped out.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm back.
I couldn't hear anyone though. If
Did
anyone
everyone
else
just
was
drop
talking. I don't know.
Strange.
I can hear you, Alanah. Omar, can you hear everybody?
I think it was a Discord thing.
Yeah.
See, Omar's not back. Omar's lost.
Is he frozen?
That's what I quit and then came back out.
No, he's not frozen. Yeah.
It was just took a while to connect. I think it was a Discord thing.
Can't hear us,
I realized too. I was like, oh wait, the stream can hear me just like talking over you guys, being like, "Hello, what?"
Yeah. I just went.
I just finished my sentence and then was like, nobody has anything to say. Okay.
I just went, Alanah, I can't hear you anymore, and then no one else reacted to what I said, and I said, I think I'm all alone, and then I just quit. I quit out of Discord and went back in.
Funny. Okay, yeah. It must
they
be a
can
Discord
hear
issue.
all of us though.
Yeah. Omar's Omar's like tech messaging. You
What's
can
happening?
see he's doing something right now. He's not back in yet.
Got a furrowed brow there.
Yeah, he's
Weird.
concentrating.
Okay. Well,
all right.
we'll figure it out.
Keep
Omar.
going. He'll get to us eventually.
I can hear like my Oh, he just dropped out of Discord. I can hear my Discord making sounds that imply he's trying to do something. I guess maybe it was on
There we
his end
go.
or something.
Yeah.
You back?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey,
there you go.
I think I'm
Welcome
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
back.
we can
Did
hear
you
you.
guys get weirded out on Discord too, or was it just me?
Yeah.
No,
everyone
everyone
dropped
does.
out, but you were dropped out for the longest. And I'm wondering if, like, does Discord do hosting? Like, were you hosting that call because you were the first in there or something? Does it work that way?
No, I don't think
I
so.
know. I think it's a server. Whatever. It's working now, I guess.
We're good.
We got
Correct.
it. Okay.
Well,
Let's judge more
whatever
people.
you said, I agree.
Thank you. I don't even remember now. I think we're all in agreement. The coffee man is the asshole.
Yeah.
All right. If we want to head back to pick one.
So I guess
anyone want to?
should we
Anyone
pick
pick
one that doesn't say update? That's like fresh.
Yeah.
I saw one on there that was like, "Am I the asshole for pranking my racist parents?"
Oh, that's that. Yeah, that sounds great.
I don't know what that means,
It's the
but
eighth
Oh, right there,
one.
700 comments.
Pranking my
Wish
racist
it's not
parents. Oh, this is long.
Oh,
Okay,
This
we'll
is
make
a
it work.
long one.
Okay. All right. I go to college in the US, but I'm originally from an East Asian country where my parents still live. Thanks to Corona shutting down colleges, I'm quarantining with my friend and her family. Said friend and family are black. This is relevant, I promise. I mean, yeah, the headline gives that away. Friend has an older brother, Jay, and us three kiddos have been spending a lot of time together. One night, the three of us were drinking, chatting, generally having a good time. We got onto the subject of anti-blackness in Asian communities. I mentioned that my parents are super racist and yet constantly deny it when I call them out for it. Growing up, I've seen them move subway cars to avoid black men. Yikes. And they're constantly joking with their friends about how horrifying it would be if their kid dated a black or brown person. And yet they will always claim that they don't care about race. They're just so concerned about cultural compatibility. Oh, God. Okay. Whew. Get through the white guilt. That's fine. And making sure that my siblings share the same values. But funnily enough, this argument never comes up with regard to potential white significant others. Anyway, I jokingly said to Jay that it'd be hilarious to call their bluff by telling them we're dating. We're very similar in terms of culture and values. Read, their parents are also well-educated, upper middle class. I don't know, maybe it was the alcohol, but somehow we ended up texting my parents, hey, can we talk tomorrow? I have some kind of important news.
Nice.
Damn.
Get him.
I wake up the next day to a million texts from my parents. Jay and I both still found the idea funny, so we FaceTime my parents and basically told them we fell in love after being quarantined together for so long. You guys, the look on my father's face will follow me to the grave. They didn't respond and straight up just hung up on us. Oh my God. My mom called me back, no video, 15 minutes later and said, your dad and I need some time to process this information, and hung up again. I didn't hear back from them in a while, but did hear from several family members asking me, is it true you're dating a black guy? My aunt suggested that my time in the US is corrupting me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. And I should just fly home ASAP. Corona be damned. After they're literally saying just potentially get ill or get other people ill rather than dating a black guy. I can't. Okay, it's fine.
Yep.
After not hearing from my
now.
parents for 2 weeks, I texted them saying it was a joke and that I wanted them to acknowledge they're incredibly racist and hopefully work on it. But baby steps, I guess. My dad yelled at me for 45 minutes, and since then, all my aunties and uncles have had, and a handful of cousins have been calling and messaging me to berate me for giving my parents a heart attack. My brothers found it funny, at least. Am I the asshole? I don't feel like we necessarily
Not much of a
need
debate
to read
for this
the end
one.
of it.
Yeah, this seems like
Okay, look. I mean, I guess in theory, lying under any circumstances is shitty, but, you know, someone's clearly an asshole here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I guess don't maybe lie to your parents about relationships, but also, you know.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Lying
this is
like this is more of a investigative journalism kind of thing.
This seems less like lying and more like when a scientist gives a placebo to a control group in an experiment
to test.
Yeah, like it's like the scientist isn't lying; they're just getting to the bottom of something, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just sucks that now this person is moving forward in the relationship with their family still, and if I scroll back up just a little bit, where they're always going to be mad at her now or him, I don't remember which way it was, for giving their parents a heart attack based on this information.
Yeah. I'll say so. I guess it's funny because they're like this whole cultural what did they say? Cultural compatibility. It's funny when something like that may be said when the obvious thing is that the real lack of cultural compatibility is between the parents and their child.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're worried about this. I mean, they're not actually worried about it. They're thinking about something else entirely, but like they're worried about that, quote unquote, when it's like, no, don't you understand that we are not of the same culture? Just because we look more similar, like I think the inability to see that is almost comical.
Someone in chat is saying the end of the edit is actually really sad. I'm gonna scroll down.
Oh, okay. With just the end of it, I held on for 2 weeks because I kept thinking my parents were just about to come around. I guess I didn't want to believe my parents would really react this harshly. In hindsight, I probably should have come clean earlier. Oh, so they kept the lie up for
2 weeks.
2
and
weeks?
That's what I was gonna say. And the end result is that they're just pissed off at this person even more for pretending. So like, they just
do we think this would ever have any other outcome?
There's no lesson learned here. There's no lesson learned here.
Do you have mod rights for chat? There's someone who's clearly just made an account to talk shit, who's the same person I've seen before, who just a lot of lies. Can we ban someone? Is that an option? Otherwise, I'm just going to tell everyone to just not even acknowledge them. Just ignore them.
Yeah,
the same person appeared on the Funhouse Clips YouTube. It's really dumb. If we can, then well, actually, I can just message Jackie and be like, just get rid of this person. Yeah, but otherwise, Jackie, just everyone else. They're just trying to get attention. Just don't reply.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jackie, you'll see who it is. Yeah, just no one else. Don't even bother replying. That's totally just what they're trying to do. So has anyone here had anything like this with any family members? Like, I've dated people of color. My family, thankfully, does not give a flying fuck, and I would be mortified if they did.
Yeah.
Have you guys had anything like this happen?
I was like, Elise is Canadian, so I think my parents are still trying to.
That's pretty controversial.
Wrap their brains.
Yeah.
My parents have always been super supportive, so
yeah.
They just don't want me to date a bum.
My parents are super supportive. It's my grandparents or that older generation are weird about stuff. It's Cuban, Hispanic people in general, I think. But yeah, there's like lots of weirdness with my cousin married someone who's Mexican, and they like give him shit all the time for being Mexican, which in like a playful way, but not really. It's racism down at the core of it.
Yeah, especially if you're part of the family.
Yeah, and they were making fun of like the Asianness of some, like they're all it's that older generation just has that built into them, in a sad way.
Yeah, I could see parts of my family having issues with if I were to date someone who was Muslim, which is specifically because Australia has like such a hate campaign against Muslims, and the government just did that in a way that's just really shitty. And I actually don't feel like they would have a problem with it. We would just maybe need to have a conversation where I would be like, you're an asshole. You're going to meet this person and you're going to see how much of an asshole you've been. Like, because I think they have it in their heads that if they don't know anyone of that religion, then they're all terrorists. And like, that's just not how anything like that works, especially a religion that's just that broad. That would maybe happen, but I still think my family wouldn't like stop talking to me or shut it down or anything like that. It wouldn't be that negative, but that's going to be really complicated. I mean, hey, there's a movie about that. Isn't that kind of what The Big Sick is about?
I think that's part of it. Yeah.
He was very much supposed to date an Indian girl. Didn't. It's a theme of that film. Good film. If you've not seen it, I think they wrote it together, right? They both
they did.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, because it's his real life story, right?
Yeah, it actually happened.
Yeah. And then he went and he got fucking ripped.
Yeah,
So it all worked out for him.
Like that.
Great.
It went like that. He basically wrote this happened in real life. Then he and his wife wrote the movie of what happened, and then he got ripped. It's tale as old as time
because of the movie.
Were you impressed with his muscles when they came out? James?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, he looks great.
I'm gonna give, but real big shout out to Rob McElhaney, because I think he was the first one to be like, this is impossible unless financed and facilitated by resources you don't have. He was like the first person to actually do that. And so I don't think that a lot of these other people would have come afterwards if it wasn't for the fact that he did something like that. But I appreciate that they are at some point we will reach the next level of honesty where they go, I worked out really hard. I busted my ass. I had a nutritionist. I did all this stuff. I didn't ask what they were injecting me with. like there'll be like that one extra stage of like, I didn't ask, by the way, what they were giving me that was allowing me to put on 25 pounds of muscle in 6 weeks. But, I really appreciate everyone's help. So.
Yeah, I feel like there's like some of these like hardcore gyms where the actors go, they have like those little sections where you just like get put on a drip. That's just there's just a doctor who just puts shit in you and you're just like, all right, on my way.
Yeah.
Like it just seems kind of insane. But you got that actor money, gotta get ripped however you want, man. Do we know why he got buff?
Yeah, it's for the Eternals movie.
He's
no way.
He's a superhero.
Very cool.
So
trying to read chat to see if anyone had any similar stories about this stuff.
I have
I'm seeing lots of people agree with me that like their older generations of the family is just built into people in like
I think it is too.
2 generations
Same as the Muslim
from us right now. Yeah. Especially Hispanic people, man. Super racist against anybody who's not from their particular kind of Spanish.
My best friend in primary school was Korean, and I'd spent a lot of time at her house. She was awesome. Her family was awesome. But there was a moment where I would have been really young, maybe like, I'm trying to figure out what city I was in, but I would guess it would have been about 10. And she made fun of my friend Stephanie because she was hanging out with a Chinese girl. And I remember being like, wait a minute. I thought it was just all of us who were doing that. And then it was like this Korean family just really making fun of this Chinese girl in a way that I was just like, I didn't know this world existed.
Yeah.
It was like a really shattering moment.
Yeah.
Of interracial racism across the board. But it probably is a generational thing. It can't be tied to any particular race, really. That doesn't make any logical sense. It's
I would for the sake of digging into this post, I would say one thing that if we had to find an excuse to make her seem like, hey, here's a perspective you could have gained from this situation, I would just say she should really, they should really focus on their friend Jay, because their friend Jay is the one who is a perfectly normal human being functioning and is now vilified in this situation. Like, not even with her parents, but like, guarantee you Jay deals with this shit all the time.
That's true.
All the time. This is Jay's life. This was just an experiment for her, but this is Jay's life. So it's like, that's treating it in a funny way is the closest thing I could glean to her being an asshole in this, because it's like, this is Jay's life.
Yeah, this comment does say that. Your family for being racist and refusing to admit it. You for essentially using just disappeared. For essentially using your friend as a punchline. But yeah, it sounded like they kind of like hatched the plan together, sort of.
Yeah.
What does ESH mean?
Everyone sucks here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you use your friend a black person to make
I feel like this person's being a little aggressive.
I don't know. I don't think that she sucks. It's just one thing that, like, in her reflection on it, I feel like would have been nice to see her mention, like, man, it really blew me away. Like, I thought, yeah, sure, maybe, but it really blew me away, and I felt really bad for Jay.
Could have hatched as like one of those things where she might have been like, no, they're not that bad, and her friend was like, no, you want to see how racist your parents are? Like, haha, let's do this. And so like maybe it could have been more. It's not like, maybe we don't know for sure that she was like, oh, I want to tell my parents that I'm dating you, so they freak out because they don't like you because you're black.
Do you think there's any productive way to confront racist parents? Like, do you think there's any useful way in which you can be like, you're racist, we need to talk about it? Or is it always going to be a shutdown argument?
I have no experience with this, luckily, but I would say generally the things that education, and not just in terms of like reading textbooks, generally education and exposure are the things that that put out those flames of hate.
True.
I've seen, because there's a lot of it's ignorance. You presume things about people and you apply stereotypes to them without thinking of them as complex. So like in this world, it would be like just go out to dinner, just show up unannounced with this person, maybe not force, but if there's a situation where you can have them interacting in some meaningful way, just regular doing shit. We were going to Disneyland. All of us are going to Disneyland, and Jay's here. It's like like doing that and just kind of exposing them to that. I feel like that's the only way.
Yeah. I think on top of that too, like any way that you can show that, like you show your parents or your grandparents or whatever, and this is kind of what happened in my family, that the little jokes they're making that they don't actually think are super racist, but are in fact incredibly racist, and just like it's a bummer to hear, especially for the younger generations who are growing up with these people like doing that kind of stuff. Anything that you can bring light or like shine a light on that, be like, hey, actually, when you're saying this stuff, it's super fucked up, and you think you're being funny, but it's really just fucked up. And
you have to make sure that you do that in such a controlled way. Like, people can get so aggressive about how they try to correct people on things. Like, I recently posted a picture where this company sent me a bunch of clothing for free, and it's really pretty and I really liked it. And I was like, great, cool. So I posted a photo. That's what they asked me to do. There was one comment in chat where someone was like, hey, I don't know if you know this about this company, but you shouldn't support them, and listed a bunch of information that I didn't know about. And then there was another comment about it that was like, shame on you for doing this. Like, this is so disgusting. Like, I can't believe you would wear their clothing. And I was like, the difference between those two things is that the first one made me go, oh, I'm going to listen to this and I'm going to read into this, and I'm not going to post the other things that they sent me, because I kind of have to with this one, but like they were so like polite and informative about it. And the other one was just really fucking mean, to the extent that I was like, I don't want to interact with this person. And I feel like that can happen all the time when someone makes a mistake. The best way to confront it is not to be like, you're a fucking piece of shit. And that's kind of what I feel like happened here. Like, someone said in chat, this is Malik2I0, said, regardless of the parents being horrible, them making up a scenario and acting out an extreme for 2 weeks because they couldn't get them to admit they're racist isn't helping anyone. That's probably right. That's not like the sit down and have a conversation thing. It's more of a, like, it is a troll. Like, if it was just because it was funny for them, then sure. But I feel like it is a pretty aggressive way to do it.
No lesson learned. There's no lesson learned here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Of course, we're only going on what the post says, but I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
Do you think because now her parents are only going to have a resentment.
Yeah.
No. Unless there's some other type of like James was saying, like exposure and like, something like that. The only lesson now is that her parents potentially have some sort of resentment for like playing a joke on them.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't learn any lesson. Besides that, their daughter will come back to them and break down, and they are like allowed to continue to be racist.
Yeah, you're right. It's nuts, but I feel like this maybe would either make them hate each other. I mean, obviously this is speculation. That's the whole point of like going over these in any case, but it would make them hate each other, push them further into the narrative, or just like fuck their relationship up like for that period of time or whatever. It's just not, just not great, but still, hey, if you had a fun time there, then have a fun time. All right, shall we move on to another one?
Okay,
see if I can find something tasty in here. Whoa. There's one here that says, am I the asshole for telling on my sister after she refused to take down an Instagram account that was made to make fun of me? I could see that being being spicy. Love a good bit of spice there.
There's one a little bit further down that's, am I the asshole for spending the day on a call on my girlfriend's birthday, which is relevant to the work from home situation we find ourselves in.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Okay. Let's go.
Let me try and find it.
He's like, I was on a call on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
It counts as a call. It's a business somewhere. I'm trying to find where that is on my end. That's all right. I went Control F call, and it's just going through every time that someone says
11
basically.
hours ago, submitted by Northern Lights.
If you pull it up on the stream, I'll be able to see it.
It's up.
Yeah.
I'm just okay. So my best friend moved to the UK 5 years ago and studies for study/work. Since we hadn't seen each other for a while last year, he said he was going to come over, meet up with our old friendship group, 5 guys in total, and we would go on a young guys trip before he returned to the UK. It just sounds really cute. Nothing like young guys on a road trip. I met my girlfriend earlier this year, and her birthday coincidentally falls on the same day as the guy trio was supposed to start. For obvious reasons, he can't come anymore, and just decided to do a group video call, catch up, then play games online.
Games online.
You were right.
You're right.
Yesterday was the day, so I woke up early and made my girlfriend breakfast in bed, gave the gift, and watched a movie with her. When the time came, I asked my girlfriend if she was okay with this, and she said it was fine, so I did it. It was a load of fun catching up with the guys and playing against a bunch of random people online together. The call ended around 9, and I went back to the bedroom to chill with my girlfriend, but she was already asleep, so I went to bed as well. It doesn't say how long he was doing that for. This morning, though, she was extremely cold and didn't want to talk until I pushed it out of her. Don't like that phrasing. She says I was being an asshole for ignoring her on her big day, even though she said it was fine. Besides that, the plans were set before we started dating, and I would have missed the whole thing, but at least this way I had time to make her feel special in the morning. Am I the asshole?
No.
I don't think so either.
You don't think
Yes?
so?
Ooh, Omar says yes.
You think he's
I
an
say
asshole?
yes, yeah.
I
think yeah. I think
go
he's an
ahead.
asshole.
I always think about how these situations could have been avoided in the first
Just change the
place.
date, right?
And it seems like it made sense to have a day and date locked when it was going to be a physical thing.
Yeah.
But as soon as it wasn't, it seems like then it could be whenever you want it to be.
Right. Which I'm strongly in agreement with. Like, they could change that day just fine. Like, that's probably what I would have done in any case, is be like, we had this thing planned for this whole day. I'm just going to ask if they can redo it because we didn't know it would be your birthday or whatever. But but it still says, like, he woke up, he made her breakfast in bed, he gave her a gift, he watched a movie with her, and then he was like, can I go make this call?
It's interesting because he did ask her, right? He asked her, but maybe he should have asked them.
Yeah,
well,
that's
like their
true.
relationship is new too. So like he asked her, and she didn't want to be an asshole. Be like, no, you have to do this thing because it's my birthday. I don't know.
Yeah,
but there's I get that, but also it's like if I were, because I would feel that way too.
Depends how long
I would
the call
probably
was.
be like, I'm gonna be big about it. I'm gonna be cool, and I'm gonna be like, that's fine. And I made that decision, and the next day I don't get to suddenly change my mind and be pissed off that I said yes.
that's true.
Yeah, that's true. But
You don't get to be cold about something.
Because then that breaks
he
the
said it was
trust
okay.
of like them asking you anything ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then how do we know whether
That's
or
why,
not,
again,
you know?
I'm thinking maybe if it was super long. Like, so if you have
so he
plans...
made breakfast, watched the movie, and then didn't go back to her until after 9 p.m.
Yeah, we don't know.
That's
true.
all fucking day.
But
Yeah,
what was the
that's
movie?
true.
Maybe it was Lord of the Rings.
Maybe it was
the trilogy.
Extended
Lord of the Rings trilogy.
So it was actually a different day. I just don't get why she's mad.
He only got on that voice call at 8:15.
Yeah, that checks out. I feel like, again, like to me, this one is like, how long was that phone call? Because I've done that one time where I was like, yeah, fine, whatever, do what you want. I had plans with my significant other, and then he was on the phone for a super long time, and I was like, we had plans. And it was like, I don't know, 4 hours or something. And I was like, but we had plans. Come on. I could see that being a thing if it was a really, really long time and she didn't expect it to be that long. But it doesn't say ultimately. But I think like generally, it sounds like he still did something really sweet for her. It sounds like he still like put effort in. It's also birthdays are not important to some people and are really important to others. I actually had Rooster Teeth did this series, or where I think they only did it once because it was such a mess. You'd get drunk and interview yourself.
Oh yeah,
it did it in Texas.
Yeah,
What was it called?
Fuck, I don't remember. It was the Blaine one is in my opinion top 5 best pieces of Rooster Teeth content ever made.
Yes.
Blaine's
so because
interview.
Blaine did that, he missed a flight the next morning to come to San Francisco for my birthday.
Oh no.
So because he was so hungover, he had sent me like 50 Snapchats that night that are all just like him cooking and like just like random drunk bullshit that I still don't really understand how it works in the timeline, because he was like, well, I stayed at Chris's house, and I was like, you sent me videos of you cooking, like what happened? So then he sleeps in the next day because he had so much alcohol, misses a flight to be there for my birthday, and I actually think his manager, because they felt bad about it, ended up paying for him to get another flight. But like that was like the most disastrous birthday thing that I've had happen was that my boy like like if I would post my boyfriend's company made him get drunk and so he missed a flight for my birthday. Is he the asshole? I wasn't mad about it at all. That totally wasn't his fault.
I can just imagine Blaine being the most upset about like you not being like whatever, man. Like it happened.
No, because he's a sweetheart. He like hated himself for it, but then he also like came to my the house I lived at the time and came to the birthday party that I had, but because he was still really hungover, he couldn't be around alcohol. So he was just like trying to like enjoy himself around all these people drinking, and he was just like trying not to throw up in the corner of the room. It was such a fucking disaster. But like I still have that video of him vomiting on himself ingrained in my head, and it's come up in conversation a couple of times. This is totally a tangent, obviously, because I've always wanted to ask people the question, like, how often do you think men accidentally vomit on their own dicks? If they're really drunk and it's just down. And people are like, well, people usually don't vomit straight down. And I'll be like, counterpoint, watch this video of ex-boyfriend Blaine Gibson. Clearly people just vomit on themselves without knowing. So it's like, I feel like there are men out there, like in a urinal or whatever, sometimes accidentally vomiting on their own dicks. I feel like it's happened. But that is a clip that I pull up regularly when discussing that exact topic with people of how likely I think it is that men vomit on their own dicks.
Your own dick?
Anyone?
I haven't. I mean, I'm generally pretty good about knowing that it's coming. Yeah. There's a lurching. It's almost like this. The biology of the human body is designed to protect the dick from vomit. It's like, oh, protect the dick.
I think if Blaine had been naked when that video was shot, he would have vomited on his own dick. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I feel like someone has done that.
Blaine was also in like the mental faculties of if he wasn't surrounded by people, he probably would have died because he just vomits onto himself. If he was lying on his back, he would have drowned.
That's like, actually super true.
So like.
I mean, I think they never did that series again because it got so messy. Because he drank so much.
It's really hard to ask people to.
But in any case, was fine with him being late. Like, not his fault, not a big deal. This one, I would make the effort to. I think James, you're right, to just ask to move the date. It doesn't seem like that'd be that hard to do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's just a conversation about it. Just like, he said in the beginning, just talking about it and being like, let's figure out what the best way to make this work. And if she's like, oh, you're willing to move it, then like, just talking about it.
Lindsey convinced me he's not the asshole. They're both shitty. They're both suck.
I think it's a new relationship communication issue. He took her at face value, which you should be allowed to do. And then she probably should have committed to that because of, now in the future, he's not going to be able to believe any response that she has necessarily.
If you get pissed off at someone, like, I feel like I see this in movies all the time, but haven't seen it that much in real life. Like, if you get pissed off at someone that you're dating and you don't tell them why you're pissed off and you just get all cold rather than actually talking about it, what is the point? Like, you're just burning yourself there. Like, what's the plan? Just doesn't seem worth it.
There's also the other facet, just one last thought of, it's not like she had any other option, given the way things are. It's not like she was like, oh, I'm going to go out with my friends. She probably couldn't. Right. She's like, I'm trapped with you. My birthday and the celebration of said birthday is reliant completely on you and your involvement because I'm alone.
Yeah.
There is something sad about the idea that like he's on a call for however long, like I'm going to guess. Seems like
it had to be like 8 hours, at least 8 hours.
I'm thinking like 8 hours or so, like a full day. And she's just sitting alone on her birthday. Like, that's pretty sad. That's
and that
pretty
guy's
sad.
right. Like, all he needs to do is apologize and ask about making it up to her, and then being open and honest about that shit going forward.
Oh man, this comment is a good point. There was the comment there that mentioned that she would have had to like eat her birthday dinner alone and stuff.
Yeah.
That's super true. That's pretty sad, man. How long did you know your boyfriend? I wish that he would respond to these questions. Like, how long did you know your girlfriend? By the sounds of it, you woke up, made breakfast, watched a 2-hour movie, then ignored it for the rest of the day. Yeah, I would like to know the time. Oh wait, it was 8 hours? He said it was 8 hours.
Well, no, he said he made her breakfast, watched a movie, and then didn't go back to her until 9 p.m.
This comment seems to have an update here.
Yeah, because the comment has an update, it says 8 hours you ignored her. I'm assuming that somewhere else he replied 8 hours. We could look at his comment history, but whatever. That's too fucking long, man. That's not cool. Nah. Still,
your bros would have been fine.
My initial response was like kind of no, because like if it were a 2-hour call, totally fine. You know, totally fine. But if
She
it's the
turned
whole day,
23, so it's not significant.
well, it's not like it's insignificant when it's someone who is young and whatever. Okay, grabbed a few snacks. So you didn't even say hi to her?
So he says here, like, I didn't know it would be about 8 hours, that sort of thing. Is
Oh, wow.
It just happened.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But for a 4-month relationship.
No, I don't think that matters, man. That's not you. But you're off to a bad start if that's what you're going to start doing from the bad start. But yeah, so okay, maybe like again, if she was like, no, it's fine, and then didn't expect it to be 8 hours, because who would expect a phone call to be 8 hours? Then I understand where she's coming from, and I feel like I've been in that position before where I was like, phone call's fine, just not the whole day. I get it. Do we have anyone in the chat? Why didn't he ask her until the day of? It might have seemed like she had to say yes because of the day. I think he mentioned in his comment history that he had asked her like months, or told her like months beforehand. But that would be when they were really early on to dating.
Beforehand.
Yeah. She knew for about 3 months, but then had been dating for 3 or 4 months. So that was probably like not even serious at that point.
Also, at the time, she probably knew for 3 months, but 3 months before that, they weren't their only companionship during a day.
Mm-hmm.
True, actually. That makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Yo, this guy's got negative points everywhere, apparently.
I know.
I think people think he's the asshole.
He might be the asshole. Someone said it's a proven fact you can only celebrate even numbered birthdays. It's true. 23 doesn't count. 23 was I was just counting that as Blink-182 birthday because of that song, because there's no other way to make that birthday interesting or cool at all. Yeah, someone said maybe she doesn't want to start a fight in front of this dude's friends because then they would all start calling her a bitch, which is true. Like, it's not like she had the opportunity to say anything while he was on the call. It's a good point. Oh, someone just opened a White Claw or something?
Yeah, someone's getting thirsty over there.
By the way, I found a much better White Claw. Have you guys had the sparkling agua fresca from Golden Road?
No.
No.
Is it good?
It's real good.
Is it a seltzer? Is it a spiked seltzer, or is it a malt thing? Because sometimes they look very similar, and I've made the mistake of buying the malt like sweet beverage, and I was like, ugh.
No, it's a spiked seltzer thing, but it's more it has a little more juice content in it than the other ones.
Oh, see, I don't want the juice.
It's good though. It's real good.
I don't want the juice.
It's agua fresca. It's real good.
I think I might have mentioned this like on the last time we did this stream, but I keep having this problem where if I want something refreshing, I just keep having White Claw. I'm like, I should probably just get something non-alcoholic. I did stop putting ice cubes in my water bottle yesterday. It goes off because it's gotten real hot.
Pink grapefruit seltzer water. 0 calories, caffeine free.
I've never had LaCroix, but that seems to be the popular take.
That's what it's. This is generic LaCroix is what this is.
Got it.
This is what I love about the human body is that thirst is like one of the most prominent feelings. Like when your body's thirsty, you feel it before hunger, you feel it before basically anything else. If you're thirsty, it's why you constantly get up and you're like, I gotta get something. It's because your body's going, I am so thirsty. And all your body wants is water and all the different layers betwing just water and stuff that people will go.
Yeah. I know a lot of people overeat.
Fresco.
Thanks for sponsoring the show. No, not sponsored. A lot of people overeat because they mistake being thirsty for hunger. Yep. So they're like, I need something, and they think it's a snack, but actually they just need water. It's supposed to be a really common thing.
They're like, that's strange. I'm still hungry, and it's like,
can't believe
you didn't give me any water.
And it's what's tough is like knowing that and like living like that way for a while. We're like, oh, I recognize this, and then like forgetting, and then like now I'm retraining my body when I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm thirsty. And like, that's really hard to remember sometimes. Well, even if you know, and even if you're already aware, you're like,
it's our stupid dumb body's fault.
Pretzels. I don't know. No, you
why
don't
did they
want
make
pretzels.
them so similar? That's not our fault. We should have different feelings for that stupid human meat sack. It's not our fault. Lindsey, do you want to pick the next one?
Let's take a look here.
Let's take a look.
Let's see.
Are you looking at my screen or just the thing?
Yeah, I'm looking at your screen.
Yeah, I've been doing that too.
Okay. I want to keep
someone said, does White Claw sponsor all of RTE? Because apparently Gus talked all about it on the podcast. No, that'd be great though. But no, they do not.
Wait, scroll back. Keep going the other way.
Down? I have to go to the next page.
What do you mean by the other way?
Oh, I see. I'm curious about this. Am I the asshole for wanting to be a stay-at-home dad? It's got 1,000 comments. That's a lot of opinions.
That is a lot of opinions. Will you do that?
It already has a verdict.
Oh.
It already has a verdict.
Okay, we don't want to, right? Because we don't want to. If it's like pretty unanimous, then we don't need to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't see the thing on the side.
We need to be the judges. We don't want no established ones. Get out of here.
All right, go back.
Gross.
Let's go back. Go to page 2.
Hey, nice work. Mashman said, I'm going to drink a nice glass of water now. Everyone just have some water. Just have a little bit of water. I like to just have this water bottle that I just, finish one time a day.
Yep.
Sometimes more.
Fill that water bottle with pretzels.
There you go.
Telling my coworker to shut the fuck up about The Office.
That's
gosh, it's like, how do we know it's going to be good or if it's going to be a dud?
I think like Lindsey, I usually just go with a headline that's like anything
asking
that's a headline that's
to cancel
interesting.
my birthday plans.
That's like the opposite.
Yeah,
that's the opposite of what you said.
People are requesting the pregnant wife one in the chat.
Pregnant wife.
That would have been.
I think it's 13 on page 1.
Page 1.
That would have been on
so.
the previous page. Wait, go.
That's 13.
Am I for taking away my pregnant wife dinner because she upset me? Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, sort by controversial, they're saying?
Yeah, but like.
Oh, that also
okay.
I got
it. Yeah, but
I know, but I do gotta see what this is. Oh my god. I'll try to keep this brief.
I will try to keep this brief and then a wall of text.
Let's see.
Are we just reading it silently?
Okay. Am I the asshole for taking away my pregnant wife's dinner because she upset me? I will try and keep this brief and answer any questions I get. My wife is currently pregnant, and it's been an interesting few months to say the least. A lot of my wife's friends warned her about how intense the cravings can get, and she hasn't really got them that bad. But in a few instances, she's had cravings that have put me in a somewhat unsavory position, like having to drive 40 minutes at 3 a.m. to get my wife this specific food from our home country that my in-laws had at their house because she woke me up and said she couldn't wait at all. Being pregnant sounds wild. After incidents like that one, I sat down and had as candid of a conversation as possible. Nice. There you go, Omar. About how I realized I wasn't the one who was pregnant, and hence it was easy for me, but I couldn't keep throwing everything down to get her whatever she needs because she is pregnant. That was all background to an incident that happened last night. I'm the one who cooks mostly, and last night I cooked a dinner that we both like a lot. It's a pizza-like dish from our home country that I will not name, but it is very similar to a pizza in that it is a type and split into okay, yeah, it's like a pizza.
Why is he not naming it?
I don't want to give away my location.
I spent about 1 hour cooking and a mixed salad to eat as well, so we got each half of the pizza and some salad for dinner. My wife was sitting down at the table ready for dinner, and I brought over the pizza and set it down, and then went back to the kitchen to get the salad, and when I came back, my wife had taken all of the pizza onto her plate. Now, I should say I cooked this meal quite a few times, and it's always been that we took half each, so I asked her, hey, how come you took it all? She said she realized that I liked it, but she had a really bad craving for it, and couldn't I just take the salad this once so she could have the pizza? She hasn't even started eating it yet. Just make that decision as you go, fam. I told her that if she was craving it, that's okay to just give me one piece out of the 10 so I could at least have a taste, but she refused, saying she wanted it all and that I could just only eat salad for one night. This started an argument, and I just told her that I found it rude that she was trying to stop me from having one piece of my own food that I cooked. She still refused to give me a single piece and then said something that really hurt me. Honestly, you should stick to salad in general anyways. Oh, she's pregnant. You can't be body shaming people. You got that big belly. What are you talking about? I'm not happy with my weight, and I've been losing weight slowly, but this comment made me upset, so I told her enough and took the plate. At this point, I now have the remaining pizza left and told her she can eat salad or come apologize, and took the food to eat on our alfresco. I can definitely see how I'm the asshole for taking my wife's dinner away from her, but at the same time, I acted in hurt. So I'm curious what others think.
Yo, his wife's a bitch.
She reminds me of that episode of New Girl when you hear about how shitty What's-Her-Face was while she was pregnant.
What?
Remember, Lindsey?
Nope.
At the end when Schmitz is shitty.
What's her name?
What's her name in that show?
Oh gosh, I don't remember stuff in the last season, but...
All right, well, I was just reading that whole thing going, I'm going to make a New Girl reference afterwards.
I need to...
That was just for you, Lindsey. That was just for you.
I know.
Anyone else who's ever seen New Girl. Okay, I'm going to say I think that he is not the asshole. But I will say that, like, I think if someone's pregnant, you know, you have to kind of give them special treatment. The driving 40 minutes at 3 a.m. to get a specific food, like, I feel like I would be willing to do that. Like, even if someone that I lived with was, like, unwell and was like, I need you to drive 40 minutes at 3 a.m. or, like, whatever, I would do that. Like, I'd be like, sure, cool, let's do it. Let's get you sorted. It's fine. But the point where he becomes not the asshole is, like, it seems like that was a thing that had happened. Didn't actually cause that much of a fight. They just, like, kind of had a chat about it. They needed to be more careful about the amount that she was doing that. But everyone in the chat is saying Cece. Is Cece who you're referring to?
Is her name, yeah.
I knew that. But I don't remember the episode.
But the point where she takes the whole thing, doesn't let him have one slice, and then implies that he's fat is where it doesn't matter that you're pregnant. You suck.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, I know pregnant women do weird shit and, like, become different people and do strange things, but I feel like you don't just throw out, you don't just throw out common decency, especially to the person who's looking after you. You don't just
My theory is maybe she
them.
was punishing him for something else that he did. That's, like, the only reason. If she was totally a normal person and then suddenly did that, like, I'm going to eat this whole pizza and you need to eat a salad because you need to eat a salad. Like, if she's
like,
not normally a bitch, then, like,
bullshit.
what provoked that, you know?
I was going to say her response sounds like that it may have been provoked. That there's something, we know there's something missing from this. Because why won't he tell us where his home country is?
And what the pizza name is.
That's super suspicious. I just don't understand.
Won't he do that? What else is he not telling us? And it may have been something he said to her or whatever about some sort of snide remark he made when he was setting that pizza down. And then so when he went back into the kitchen, she was like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, maybe. Or, like, when he said he had a candid conversation about how he couldn't just drop everything because she was pregnant. He didn't, like, it wasn't at that candid. It was actually really mean or something. But
maybe
people in our RTTV chat are saying you do not have to give pregnant people special treatment. It's kind of polite, but it's an eye for an eye in the real world. Or, like, no, don't give them special treatment because they're carrying a child. Give them special treatment because they are unwell. I don't know what it is about me, but I would for sure drop a lot of shit to help a pregnant person. But maybe that's just, like...
Right. And nobody's saying that, like, you need to go out of your way every day if you see somebody who's pregnant to help them. This is about two people in a relationship who are going to be raising a person into the world, and you need to take care of the person who is incubating that person, you know?
Yeah. And it's, like, a really tough time. They get, like, hormonal and crazy, and, like, they do kind of get mean. Like that's supposed to be a thing. I feel like I would drop... You know, if I had a pregnant wife, which seems very statistically unlikely, I feel like I would really do a lot to help her out. But, like, that seems like a normal thing. Like, driving 40 minutes at 3 a.m. is something that I would do for someone if they needed it. I'd be like, sure, let's fucking do it. We got you. Good. No worries, fam. But, I mean, I guess food cravings isn't, like, an extremity, really. I don't know.
What is this Voldemort
from,
dish?
Like, focusing on anything else.
Yeah. What is this Voldemort dish?
I wonder how the like hunger craving things works. Like, I know my mum, when she was pregnant with me, couldn't eat certain foods, and she was also diabetic when she was pregnant with me. Just for that period of time, and then was completely fine.
My mom was like, when I was pregnant with you, I wanted Rocky Road ice cream. So your dad went out at 2 a.m, got Rocky Road ice cream. And I'm like, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice story.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah.
Taking care of each other.
I don't know. Yeah, people are saying it's like, don't give special treatment. Like... Yeah. Nah, she's being an asshole.
Yeah, she's definitely being a bit butthead.
Your wife is being selfish and totally deserved to lose her share of the pizza you made by insisting she needed all of it. That's the part that's insane. It's like, just take piece by piece, and then if you're like, listen, I really love this, can I have more? Why couldn't you have decided that in progress?
It's like toddlers. Like, a toddler's like, my pizza.
What if she can't even eat the whole thing?
No pieces for you. Just one piece? No. You eat gross salad. And then he's like, no, I want the pizza. And then a little baby runs away with the pizza. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's kind of insane. Oh, all of this is just not the asshole. Can you sort comments by controversial, Omar? See if
I'll be right back. There's a delivery. I have to go get a delivery.
Oh, go get your delivery.
Okay.
So
it must not be
it's pizza. It's pizza from an unknown country.
Pizza.
I'm sorting the
like
Reddit
James would
now
order
by controversial.
pizza.
Was that what you meant?
Nice.
Alanah?
Oh, I meant the comments on that post, but yeah, we can probably move on to something else.
Oh, yeah. Let's try to get in, I guess, maybe one more. Yeah.
Remember to give a shout out to all our first members, thank you for joining the stream. We appreciate you all being here, jumping in the chat and all that stuff. Just, thank you to everyone who's watching on YouTube. Remember, you can make an account on Rooster Teeth right now. It's free. It's really easy to do. To jump in the chat here as well. It's a lot managing 2 chats. All right. Omar, you picked one already? Should I pick the next one?
I have not.
Okay, you go for
maybe
it.
you guys pick a more controversial one.
No, you're good. That was interesting. Oh, I guess, Lindsey, you didn't pick that, though. The chat did. So you can go ahead if you like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. This one, I feel like we had this conversation the other day. Am I the asshole for subscribing to a woman's OnlyFans even though I am married?
Ooh.
We had a version of that conversation somewhere recently.
I had that conversation with John Holland tweeted about it recently.
Oh, that's what it was. John Holland, yeah.
He tweeted about it. Yeah, we can do that one if you want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Headline: Am I the asshole for subscribing to a woman's OnlyFans even though I am married? So I'm an avid Twitter user. Definitely my favorite social media.
I'm pissed.
Sorry. I was scrolling one day. Someone that I follow retweeted a woman's tweet. The tweet contained a link to her OnlyFans. The tweet also said that she is trying to raise funds to make rent for herself and her disabled son. So I guess she's doing that by posting explicit pictures of videos on the thing in exchange for people donating. Sure you did, dude. This just reeks of bullshit.
Bad for her.
I felt bad for her, and I'm lucky enough to be somewhat well off, so I donate to people's fundraisers and stuff. She doesn't have a GoFundMe, so she had her DMs turned off, and there wasn't a way to arrange another method of donating to her cause. So I decided to make an account, subscribe to bullshit, and subscribe to her profile and pay the $31.99 subscription fee. Then I immediately removed my card from the account and deleted the account because this is a one-time thing, and I had no intention of viewing her content. And in fact, I did not see a single picture or video from her. Bullshit.
Okay,
now, I 100% intended to tell my wife within the interest of fairness because I know it looks like how it looks from her point of view. But I forgot that both me and her have it set up such that every time our credit card is used, we are both authorized card holders. We get a text from the bank for the purchase amount and who the merchant was. So I got the text, and I assume she did as well at the same time. I knew I fucked up as soon as I saw the text and went downstairs to confess. She knows all about OnlyFans, and she loves Twitter just like me, so she was already
Twitter
staring.
Just like me. That's such a funny
Loves Twitter.
statement.
So she was already staring daggers at me when I came downstairs. I explained it all and promised that it was a one-time thing, and I didn't see a single picture or video, but she didn't believe me. I just sat there and took my lumps and apologized profusely. I didn't defend what I did. She said she doesn't know if she can trust me anymore, and I offered to go to therapy, but all she said is that she'll think about it. I feel like shit. I try to help now my marriage might be in danger because of this. Am I the asshole? I don't fucking believe you for a second.
Not a second.
Of shit. You're telling me that you saw, when people promote their OnlyFans, I have friends who have OnlyFans accounts, right?
Yeah, same.
You see their posts. When you see that shit, it's someone literally it's just clearly a sexual image. And he's like, oh, but then I read about her disabled son. I don't buy that she even had that tweet ever existed. Who's just advertising their OnlyFans while mentioning their son? Yeah. You stupid shithead. Just no fucking way. Let's say that this was real. I'm just imagining
their Tinder profiles for how they met is love Twitter. I love Twitter, so you must love Twitter.
Yeah, the idea of someone loving Twitter and being a fan of Twitter is really weird. That's a thing that exists.
Especially now, yeah.
So man. Ridiculous.
Yeah, someone in chat said we bonded over our love of Twitter. Does anyone even feel like they love Twitter? So weird.
Oh my god, let's see some of these comments.
He paid for a girl's OnlyFans on his shared credit card. Didn't even see any of the pictures. Okay. I've been on OnlyFans. Specifically because I made an account so that no one else would make one in my name because somebody had already done that. So I made a onlyfans.com/Alanah. No intention of ever using this. Do not subscribe to my OnlyFans. It's just there so no one else can take the URL and do creepy shit with it. Being on that website, you see the images. You see them. They're just there. It's not something that's it doesn't fucking... the idea that he would not see any pictures of her while going to her OnlyFans and signing up is just horseshit. This is no fucking way.
I only bought her news to support the wildfires.
I'm just getting here now, but I want to say that there's nothing about OnlyFans that requires you to do nudity.
Yeah,
that is true.
I have some friends who don't do nudity and they have OnlyFans.
I think I do too.
Just for the fans.
It's just OnlyFans.
You don't have to
explore.
Well, I was thinking about maybe because I just had that account, just only, and I think I put it in my bio in case I eventually do it, just only posting pictures of dogs that I see.
Mm-hmm.
You could post literally whatever. Just take some people's money.
Does that
want to give it to you
get rid of the
Alanah.
terms of service if I just post pictures of dogs every day?
Yeah, you'd have to owe the dogs rights, though.
You have to blur their faces, or you have to blur their faces.
You'd have to create a sub, or blur their faces, or create a sub OnlyFans for the OnlyFans of the fans dogs, the dog fans.
Yeah, I would have to get permission probably if I was getting money for that, but someone in the chat, Voodoo Soup, said this is hardly different from paying for like a Pornhub subscription. I feel like it is a bit different.
Porn, so why is he?
I feel like the Pornhub subscription is better value, right?
Yeah, variety.
Yeah, it is technically. Is it because you can get all that shit for free anyway? I don't know. But I feel like that's a different thing anyway. OnlyFans is one individual.
That's a better question, right? Like, if you're in a relationship, are you an asshole for having a subscription to Pornhub or to somebody's OnlyFans? Like, are you allowed to keep doing that? Is that considered being an asshole?
Would depend on the relationship.
I think you would probably want to have a conversation, maybe not right away, but at a certain point you probably want to have a conversation about that.
I think that there's no like hard rule. It's always like what is the terms of your actual relationship, like what do you agree upon? I think that it varies for everyone. Like I think anything like that, if you're keeping it a secret for some reason, is shitty. Like if you're trying to hide it and not telling a significant other. Also, like porn addiction is obviously a massive thing where there are plenty of men who'll watch porn but then like not engage in intimacy with their actual partners, and I think that's really dangerous for relationships, especially if they're hiding it. But for the most part, I don't think there's like really anything wrong with doing it as long as that both parties in that relationship are honest and open about it. I don't think there's ever a hard rule.
Get in general paying for porn, I'm like, it's free. I guess the argument to be made for like paying for OnlyFans is that people feel like OnlyFans are made for people who already feel like they're a fan of this person for some reason, and maybe there's like it's like a cam girl, like a level of intimacy, so it's like, well, I'm supporting this person, so like I get that, but also it's not something I would ever pay for anybody.
What about,
or if my boyfriend was paying for it, I would be like,
you would be like, is there any way we can spread these funds? Like instead of buying one stock, can we buy like a ETF or something?
Something happened. But what about John Holland's thing where like you subscribe to a friend of your significant others or something like that, like something where there's a little bit more of a connection to the person?
Yeah, again, it's always personal, but that I personally would be super fucking weird about. And I had a conversation with him about it where like as soon as it crosses over into a level where you are friends, shit's weird. Like if you're friends with that girl and then you're like, I mean, the only reason I assume vast majority of people would ever subscribe to someone's OnlyFans is so they can get off to it. So I'm like, if you're getting off to my friends, I'm not cool with that. Strangers, different story. But friends, I was like, I don't like feel like I would be cool with that at all, because that's just an extra layer of complicated shit. But also still depends on the relationship, what the conversations are, whatever.
Yeah, unless you're getting off to it together.
Is it the money aspect? What if this, maybe you guys already talked about it, but what if you just follow a porn star on Twitter?
I feel like that's a bit different. Yeah,
is that
subscribing
different
to an
because
OnlyFans
like,
is a bit different.
It's like more passive maybe than
It's also that it's not necessarily only porn.
Yeah, but it's probably going to be mostly porn.
That's assuming it's a porn. That's assuming it's a porn star that you're friends with or whatever. Then I feel like that's a little bit different. But because an OnlyFans is like, it's content for that specific purpose. It would be like subscribing to her like cam streams or whatever. I'd be like, okay, I'm weird about this. But again, it for sure just varies.
Be honest, bro. You were drunk, wanted to fap through some dollars that way to get your fix. Then you got caught.
This dude is absolutely full of shit.
At least own it and don't gaslight your wife. That's kind of the situation here. It sounds like.
I do want to mention that like someone in the chat said the same thing that I think is a really good point. Generally in support of OnlyFans existing. Gay Millhouse said, I'll say OnlyFans is great for indie creators that don't want to rely on the exploitative nature of the adult industry. Like totally in support of what it does. And he said, like, if you want to support people you want to get off to, what's $5 a month? And that puts food on the table. Totally understand that. But it's different if it's like my boyfriend getting off to people I am friends with. Like that's a thing I do not want any part of. That's a whole other thing. Yeah. But it just in any case, it's like
I got news for you,
what's up to you?
Maybe he already does.
Maybe. I mean, I guess.
I winked at the camera, but
possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this stuff's super complicated, but in this case, I feel like this dude is absolutely fucking full of shit. He's just the biggest liar, and he's posted this here to be like, I'm writing the story down. This is definitely what happened. I'm sorry, dude. You are so
please
full of
validate
shit.
my bullshit.
It's just not true. Like, there's no fucking way. Oh man.
All right, I feel like I stepped on Lindsay's choice, so if we want to go back.
No, I mean, these are all good, you know. I enjoy the discussion.
It's all good content. Yeah, we have we finish at 6, right? So about 15 minutes left.
We have a little bit of time left.
Yeah, about 15.
Stick around though. The next stream will be screen time, so make sure you stay tuned for that.
Am I the asshole for getting upset at boyfriend's search history? That's sort of like similar vein.
It's all OnlyFans.
Yeah. And let's scroll down some more here.
Oh, Angelic Rocker said, I very much enjoy the stream. Hope they do it again sometime. We have done one before. I like doing them. I think it's fun. Yeah, we're done.
Am I the asshole for asking my daughter to make me whipped coffee? What does that mean?
Yeah, what?
You can pick it if you want, Lindsay. It's on you. Which do you think is the best?
Am I the asshole for telling my sister she isn't a real mom? Probably.
Oh, wow. Oh, what could that possibly be?
Am I clicking it?
Like,
I
just want to know what
up to you.
allows you to ask that. Like, she must have not.
There's going to be a story here.
There's a story.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister she isn't a real mom? Throwaway account because my family is on Reddit on my cell, so please ignore any spelling/grammar. Afternoon, assholes. Some background. My husband and I decided this January that we were going to try to have our first baby. My sister, who is in a lesbian relationship, has also been trying for a baby for about 2 years. But in October 2019, her and her partner got licensed to be foster parents. Oh no. The whole family was so happy for them when they got their license, and so was I. Now they've had about 5 or 6 temporary placements and 1 permanent placement. It's a weird way to talk about kids, who they've had since she was 2, and she's now 3. 3 weeks ago, we found out we were pregnant with our first child. We've told our families, and they are so thrilled. But since we found out, my sister has been giving us tons of unnecessary advice, and every time it begins with, well, we learned with this kid that. This pregnancy so far has left me very emotional and irritates the hell out of me when she brings up the past children instead of asking me about my real child. Oh boy. Well, it came to a head yesterday when she brought me some old bottles without asking if I wanted them. She said, well, 3-year-old doesn't use them anymore. We don't plan on having any more little babies since X was placed. I don't want to use her old used bottles, and I don't want any advice she brought with those bottles. So I calmly said to her, I'm about to be a real mom. I don't want any of your hand-me-downs. Apparently she told the whole family, and now I've been feeling phone calls from my mom all day about how selfish that was and how I'm being a brat. But it's true. She isn't a real mom, and she doesn't ask or act like she wants to know what my newborn will need once he/she is born. So am I the asshole for pointing out that my sister doesn't have any real kids, or should I just let her give me the old bottles? Yeah, you're an asshole. This is super
black. Jesus.
Sure.
Just a fucking asshole. Yeah. Like, you have a lesbian sister who fosters children who is trying to give you advice.
Yeah.
And she's fostered multiple children. In theory, she's like more experienced than
she's
the
got
average
more
human.
experience.
Absolutely.
With different types of kids. She's trying to give you bottles. Them being used is not a problem. Yeah, you're for sure the asshole. That's like saying that no one who is gay can ever be a real parent. Come on now. For sure an asshole.
Jesus. There were so many flags in that whole post.
I know.
Absolutely.
The minute that it was like lesbian, I was like, oh, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good.
This is not going to go well.
Oh, man.
Jesus. What?
It's like, I get the impression that maybe this person really wants to be treated like special for having the first kid in the family.
Yeah.
But nobody else sees it that way, and they're like salty that they're not being given credit for that.
Maybe like some middle child shit going on here.
That's a middle child ass post.
Younger
it's also
child
like
in general.
Yeah, this person is trying to bond really clearly from the way it sounds to me. Like the sister is trying to be like, oh my God, I'm like trying to get involved in the fact that my sister is having a kid, to shut them out and be that rude about it. Like, that's really hurtful. Well, that would be very difficult to navigate.
I thought it was going to get to something where she was going to be like something to dealing with her pregnancy, kind of like the other one we talked about. Like, you don't truly understand what this is doing to me emotionally, because you haven't carried a child and had your hormones thrown completely out of whack. But the fact that it came down to general parenting advice,
yeah,
of which there is no credential other than to parent, you know, like is such an asshole.
Well, similarly to the other posts, like, yeah, if you're pregnant, you can be more of an asshole because of hormones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like but like we can consider that maybe this person wouldn't have said that if they weren't pregnant, but I still think what you said is really fucking rude. And, you know, that they're going out of their way to try to help you, as we established that I feel like you should try to do for pregnant women. And then being like, no, I don't want your fucking help is just, all right, man, I understand you're probably going through a tough time, but that doesn't make you not an asshole.
Yeah.
Just not good.
Shout out to the family for rallying, calling
you're
an asshole.
We stand lesbian
gives me
sister.
the impression, I get the impression from the post that people are used to this girl or this part of the family being a brat, and that's just something they have to deal with all the time.
Yeah. This is like really good comments here. Just because your sister doesn't give birth doesn't mean she's any less of a mom. That's totally 100% true. But yeah, it's like it does kind of read like it's someone whose shit they're just sick of. Like it just keeps happening. Not wanting to use all bottles is also a thing that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, like, being a foster parent is such a bigger endeavor to me. You know, like you're taking on children that came from real shitty situations, probably, or have some other issues that are underlying that you have to like get through and like actually give them parenting love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck you.
Knowing that,
I don't know if
that
it's
it
a bigger endeavor, but it's certainly
too,
a huge
you know?
challenge. Like there's no way that it would be. It'd be a massive challenge.
I want to point out one last thing at the very top of the post. Her own post, she says, throwaway account because my family is on Reddit, and then spells out what is probably the most specific series of events that could ever be. Like,
that's
do you
true.
think someone's like going there? I was like, oh wait, no, Anon asshole like is not the name of my sister, so that couldn't be her. Like,
couldn't be her. Yeah. I mean, the minute someone saw it for telling my sister she isn't a real mom, they'd be like, fucking Karen, she fucking posted about it. Like, I feel like that'd be
such a Reddit thing to do.
Immediately obvious. I always feel like if this stuff's even real, which, you know, some of it's probably not, that they probably change some details just to like throw in a red herring. Maybe.
Yeah.
Someone in chat, Sassy Pancake, is saying read her other posts, please. You could do that. Does she like reply to comments or something? Is that what you're looking for?
Click on the username.
Someone said, totally agree she's the asshole for saying that, but the sister didn't need to tell the whole family about it. My guess is the sister was upset and wanted to talk to someone.
Yeah,
I don't feel like it was like a go to like dob them in situation. I would think that like if my sister said something like that to me, I would be hurt and thus would want to talk to her about it, which is
and that's the thing with like certain
I guess I'm assuming this is the other one that people are talking about because she's got a bunch of writing on that one, and then this is a new, more recent post.
So this is for sure fake, but like I feel like it's unlikely they would do both of these. Okay.
The story continues.
Am I the asshole for calling out of work? Since my last post got so much activity and my husband agrees with me, I want to know if you think I'm the asshole here. I planned my first ultrasound for a Wednesday last week and it was amazing. We got to hear our baby's heartbeat and we will never forget that moment. Unfortunately, I had to call off work to take the whole day and be able to see my baby. A coworker of mine, his wife is having some pretty minor surgery, and so I got overruled on the calendar for the day off because his was more important. My boss said I could just use my ultrasound as my lunch hour, but I wanted to take the day off to embrace that first connection as a family. So I called out of work that day.
My lesbian sister could never possibly understand.
So I called out of work that day, and apparently it left us very short-staffed and unable to perform surgeries until my coworker had left his wife resting at home and came in. My husband agrees that we weren't assholes, that we deserve to bask in that bliss, but my whole office is angry with me and said it's definitely an asshole move. Nobody told my coworker he was being forced to come in. He volunteered, but tell me, Reddit, am I the asshole? Yeah, again, this is a reschedule.
It sounds like she seems to believe that she's the first to do this.
That is a thing I have encountered. Sure. Where sometimes there are mothers who have kids and they think they're the only person to ever have had a kid and that nobody could possibly understand how hard it is. That's definitely a
sometimes
thing.
When I see these people who do like multiple of these, like these kinds of posts, and I'm like, are they writing a story and they're like workshopping their chapters on us? Like
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Is this interesting conflict or is the general consensus is that it's all bad? Yeah, I would agree that I think OP is probably a troll, but I don't mind because it's fun to talk about anyway, as this person said, but I'm having so much fun basking in my feelings of moral superiority. It's very true. No, I think that like the idea of wanting to make something special out of having your ultrasound for the first time and having a full day for it.
The post
I think that's fair.
Even though I'm
maybe
not
only get that
visibly
once.
pregnant, the cashier at my local grocery store did not congratulate me on my pregnancy. So I called the manager over to complain. Am I the asshole? This is chapter 3. I'm buying this
very
book.
good. Just this pregnant asshole of a woman. Yeah, I think it's just a reschedule. I think having a full day for that is okay. I think that's real special, and you would want to have that. But this is a Karen ass fucking move. Don't do that to the person who does have the superior issue, the more pressing issue. Fucking Karen. God damn Karen.
Somewhere out there is some really cool, chill Karens, and I feel bad for them.
It sucks because my mom's
really
name is Karen. My mom's name is Karen. So like when people do that, I like don't associate that with that name at all because my mom is like, she's pretty chill in general.
She's not a Karen, but
I do have a really good friend named Karen who spells her name totally different than like the traditional way, and she is 100%. I'm getting this meal for free.
Funny.
So it's like a weird balance because there's some out there, but then there's some ones who are just like really chill and like I don't know.
My mom's middle name is Gay.
Karens.
And when I was a teenager, I feel like it's totally not a thing anymore, but everyone was still using gay as an equivalent to lame at that point in time before we learned that probably shouldn't do that. So everyone would call everything gay. And then, finding out my mom's middle name was Gay was this moment where I was like, oh, that's gay. But it's like actually quite a nice sounding name. Mine's Rachel. It's not very exciting. It's just a basic ass fucking name.
What's your date of birth and your
we did want to let you guys know before we wrap up the stream that you can check out Crunch Time Season 2 Table Read. Check out episodes 1 and 2 of that. And make sure you check out the schedule for show changes and updates. Just like The Boys, which is now Friday mornings, No Pain, No Gain on Wednesdays, and Screen Time on Monday nights, which is tonight. Screen Time will be our next stream. If you want to join in for that, it's described as a rotating band of funny people who watch old movies along with the audience in order to mock them mercilessly. Sit back and join the fun. What else are you going to do right now? I don't feel like I needed that neg, but good point. I'm probably just going to play Animal Crossing. That would be what I would do otherwise. So you're not technically wrong. But yeah, thank you to all of our first members for joining in, to everyone who made accounts for the first time today. We appreciate you being here. We stream pretty regularly. Our next stream will be tomorrow, right, Lindsey?
Yep, tomorrow at 12.
Are we doing Minecraft tomorrow?
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. Excellent.
Animal Crossing in my veins.
So yeah, join us tomorrow at 12 for more Animal Crossing. It'll be great.
Sorry, are we talking to me? I'm playing Animal Crossing.
12 Pacific. That is true. I'm going to see if the chat had any closing comments. Yeah, lots of people whose names are Karen. Parents' names are Karen. Yeah, we've really ruined that word. I do feel that way about Chad, though. Probably lots of nice Chads out there.
Chad.
Lots of Chads.
Yeah, it's plenty of nerdy, underrated Chads. They're doctors, not even buff.
This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but do you know Derek's? Do you know any Derek's that are like plain, boring adult men? Like
so my granddad, his name is Derek.
Yep. But is he like crazy or like immature in any way?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I just don't know a Derek that's boring.
No, my granddad was not boring at all.
Normal Tylers.
Tyler. No.
Do you know any old people?
Yeah, all the Tylers are crazy.
No,
Tyler's
that's
don't
a
age.
younger
Tyler's die young.
name, I feel like.
Yeah. I feel like Tyler isn't a name that you have if you're old.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, and there's like names I've never met a young person named Beryl, Like, it just doesn't happen. Yeah, there's no young people named Beryl. No Agathas. It's just not a thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Someone in the chat said Karen is worse than the N-word. I have heard some pockets of the internet calling it a hate crime. So that's a take that exists as well.
Okay,
I assume you were joking.
Yeah.
But that is
you should fight that fight. Go for it.
Yeah, you can die on that hill, fam. Have fun. All right. Do we wrap it up? I never know how to exit the stream.
We just we say thank you, and then Nick will
all right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Lindsey and I will see you tomorrow.
Nick, take us out.